Oh.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Pretty good. Dude, I want that fucking Hunter x Hunter figure.
Right? Oh my god.
That's an awesome figure. I remember reading about it, that it was coming out, and I totally forgot about it, and seeing it in the store. Because, the pictures I saw of it, it was just by itself, right?
Yeah.
But seeing it in, like, a toy case next to other figures is hilarious. Like, really funny.
The hair cannot be contained!
I mean, like, kudos to them for making it fucking accurate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty hardcore. I mean, that's a lethal weapon, right? You could kill somebody with
Probably.
that. Totally.
He definitely killed somebody when he did that.
I mean, I gotta get it.
Where the fuck would you put it?
I'd put it in the fucking bathroom, man. So basically, you take a shit, and you go and you're like, oh, what side is the toilet paper on? And then you fucking stab your hand on Gon's hair, and you're like, what the hell happened?
Right.
That's what I would do.
Oh my god. So much power.
Yeah. That's huge. How big is that?
It's fucking huge.
I mean,
it's like, okay, like, if you look at it, it's a figure, and then it's 1, 2, 3 figures on top of that figure.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah. Because it's even bigger than that giant mech in the background.
Well, I guess that giant mech isn't that giant.
Yeah, I mean, it comes up, there's still like a figure left, in height, and the hair. That's awesome. I also want that biscuit figure. That's pretty cool.
So, dude, are you recording, by the way?
Yeah, I am.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Making sure. But yeah, so I fucked up, right?
Oh.
I did you. You know that one time when you watched one extra episode, and I was like, man.
Oh, what was that? Battlefront? Was that what I did it with?
I think it's Triage X, actually.
Oh, no, it was Triage. I mean, yes,
I don't even know why you watched another episode of it.
That's right, I finished the 2-parter. Yeah. And I was like, well, I don't know why you didn't watch it. This one's actually pretty good.
Right? This thing that you haven't seen. Well, I finished.
So you finished all 5 episodes?
No, I finished all 13
you finished all 6.
episodes. By the way, the season only has 13 episodes.
That's way more than just watching one extra one. It's like, I watched one more than you did. It's like, oh, okay, that's cool. It's like, I finished the entire show, actually.
Yeah, I actually watched the whole season.
All right, well, I guess with that then, we'll say...
So if I go a little off topic, since I did watch it with it, like, all back to back, feel free to rein me in.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I mean, I guess I'm interested now in what happens, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. Well.
I know everything. And I was really upset, because it was like episode 13, and I was like, oh, when was this released? Oh, a week ago, so that means the new episode's coming out. No, the season's over! Fuck!
It's done. That's it. That was all there was. So I guess with that, welcome everybody to episode 7 of Two-Dimensional Champions. Yeah. And today we are working on, is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon?
And I'm Thaddeus. And this is...
I'm Julian. Yep. And that was the intro music.
Yeah, is it?
That we don't have.
Would you think it's wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon?
I mean, morally, I don't think so. Oh, I mean, I guess it depends on the circumstances. What do they mean?
That's true.
But I think for our own personal sanity, we should call the show by its subtitle, which is Familia Myth. That's much better.
Oh yeah, that's better.
Yeah, or just Dungeon. I'm not saying this fucking title more than I just did.
Yeah. Or Myth. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because in the opening of the show, when the title comes up, you just look at it and it's like, oh, fuck these guys.
Right. Oh God.
So, and apparently I read a little bit about it. So the author So it's based on a light novel series, and the author is named Fujino Omori. And so he wrote the story under the title Familia Myth, and then when he won this award and he got published, then they gave him the title. I'm not going to say it because I already said it. Just say more than
title Myth.
Yeah, and I guess it just follows this trend of light novels, young novels,
right.
light novels having really, really extravagant names. The first one and only one I can really think of is My Sister Can't Be This Cute. That was really kind of popular like 3 years ago.
Isn't there another one that's like, I can't understand what my husband's saying?
Yeah, I think that's another one too, maybe.
So you're just talking about just like crazy titled animes?
Yeah, just these stupid long titles.
Is it like that's the trend? Like you said, like Familia Myth or whatever. Like, is that like the translation? You know, like so is it just like when it translates into English, the way it makes sense is a really big fucking title, but in Japan it's like a lot smaller? Or in Japan is it also like titled? Is it wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon?
Yeah, I mean the Japanese title is Dungeon ni Dai. I'm not even. It's just fucking long in Japanese.
Okay, so it's long in both languages. That answers that question.
And the nickname is Denmachi. So
I don't know.
Like that's how they shorten it. I mean, it's just like why?
It's like, that's not even shortened. Fuck.
Yeah. But it's like, and what's funny is Familia Myth actually makes more sense with the story than
the title. Yeah, I was actually about to say.
Yeah,
the title is a little misleading.
Yeah, actually, especially when I mean, okay, so you've seen everything, but I've only seen up to episode 5. He doesn't actually spend, or the show doesn't spend really a large amount of time in dungeons, and he definitely doesn't spend a lot of time actively picking up girls.
Right, I would say more so. There's definitely some more dungeon action when it gets later on into the thing.
Oh, yeah.
I think that the way, I mean, it's pretty much just like set up like a video game, which I thought was kind of cool. It's like Sword Art Online. If Sword Art Online I didn't like it after the first like half of the first season or whatever. That's sort of my thing. But I know there's a lot of people that are passionate about it. But it became too bullshit. I can't think of the right word for it. Like a I guess romancy. It became too romancy for me, I think.
Well, I stopped watching when they ended the first arc, and I just thought it was a really stupid end to the first arc. I don't even really remember how it ended. I just remember feeling like it was really... Didn't he die and come back? Wasn't there some, like, weird
shit? I don't know.
Weird shit. And then I stopped watching because I was like, why... After you just got out of a video game that almost killed you, why would you go back?
Oh, right.
To a different video game.
Right.
And it's like, this guy is like, he's got to come back. And I actually watched the first episode of the most recent Sword Art Online series, and it starts with like them trying to lure the guy back. It's like, oh, there's a problem. There's a dude fucking around in this other video game. I was like, there are other MMOs still going on in this universe after the massive fuck up that was Sword Art Online. Right. It's like one about guns. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Nobody would have done another MMO like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's Sword Art, but yeah, it did feel like Sword Art in a weird way.
Yeah. Well, in the
video game kind of style.
Yeah, you know? because it really is set up like a video game. Like there's a stat sheet on the dude's back that the person like reads in order to see like their abilities and skills and stuff like that.
You know, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. I really like that.
I actually really like that too.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. She would, and that was why Hestia. Oh shit, Hestia.
Oh dude, I watched the whole thing. I don't remember anyone's name.
Hestia, which is
I think the main guy's name is Belle.
Yeah,
that's all I know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and then there's like Hermes and the.
Yeah, the other goddesses just seemed like they were so basically. The big difference between this and Sword Art Online is this, rather than taking place in like in a video game, it's supposedly a real world where the gods decided to become human for some reason,
right.
Like they enjoyed it better or something, and they lost all their powers except for being hot, I guess, is like their like was that like
I guess, yeah. I mean, if you're like into eye patches and if you're into, like Hermes, which you don't even know yet because I'm not like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess hot. There's some male gods as well.
Okay.
But I think mostly, predominantly, I think there's just one.
Yeah. So their main power is just leveling up people, right? Like, is that their thing? Because I was a little confused about that.
My understanding of it is that there's a lot of like familias, so they're like clans, and each clan is sort of dedicated to a god.
Okay, but so basically, Bell has a lot more interaction with his god just on the basis that he's the only fucking one in the family. Yeah.
And there is, and I believe that there is a clan that does not have a god, but for the most part, and maybe there's gods without clans because Belle's goddess, didn't have anyone for a while.
Yeah. So does that mean that how do they level up if they don't have a god to do that, like to do the back tattoo thing?
Well, here's the thing: is that like that's interesting, which is it seems like there's some support classes that can still look at their status sheet, essentially, which is their back tattoo.
Like the elf group who...
Yeah, like she's got like green hair or whatever. She's with I didn't know if you'd seen that. But yeah, like so she can read other people's status sheets as well. And I don't know if that necessarily levels them up or how it works. They weren't particularly clear on it. It does seem that Bell gets stronger from doing that, but for the other familia with his main love interest, the sword lady.
Let's see. Her name is.
Thank you.
Ire, I think.
Yeah.
Eyes.
Excellent.
Wallenstein. Yeah. Okay.
Like the person that would read their status sheets was not the goddess. It was the green-haired elf chick.
Oh, and I guess that is kind of a stupid question I just asked because people would level up anyway. They just wouldn't. Yeah, okay.
Wouldn't really be aware of it, but well, it's not necessarily that's because there did seem to be like they did imply a correlation between him having his back read by the goddess to him getting stronger, or maybe he was just like, "What did I do today? Tell me, did I do good? Is it good?
Yeah.
Like did I get an A on that boss encounter?" Did I get an A? Tell me. I can't see it,
Yeah, because that was the only thing that Hestia really did aside from complain that other girls like him.
Right. Yeah. Well, before we get too far on, did you like it?
I did. I mean, it's kind of weird, but I actually...
Did you think you would like it?
I did not think I would like it. Because I had seen the light novel in Barnes & Noble, and I saw the cover, and I was like, I mean, just the title, I was just like, well...
here we go, another fucking harem anime? Like,
yeah, exactly. I was like, fuck it. I mean, what was weird is I did not expect it to be as well-paced as it was.
Right.
I had a really enjoyable time watching it, at least the first 5 episodes, and... I mean, it kept me interested. I mean, there was a few points where I was, again, it does the thing where you have a main character who, he's
it's not
like,
an original story.
No, the story just, and everybody's falling in love with him.
Right, and he's clueless about everything.
Yeah, he's like, and also, I mean, it just, the suspension of disbelief that some, I guess, was he in his teens or something like that?
Right.
Is living by himself with this chick.
Right.
And it's he he just never thought about that,
Right.
I mean, that's always been something about some anime shows that even when I was, a younger teenager, I was like, well, it's not me.
It's like, shit, man, I can't even do my own laundry.
I know, it's like, that's just not going to happen. So, I mean, with stuff like that aside, I actually thought it was quite well animated. I like the music. I do wish, and this is just from the first 5 episodes, I do wish, one thing I really enjoyed about Sword Art Online was how clearly the world was established. And I really liked how, I just really felt like it was a big world. Whereas Whereas this, I had a hard time trying to figure out, is the dungeon everywhere, or is it just in this one town, Oratorio, or Orario, I think it is. So it's like, is it just this country that has the dungeon? Is this the whole world? Are we on a...
It's actually, it's interesting to me because, like how in Sword Art Online it seemed like a really huge world that was well established. I feel like that in this anime, it was a really small world that was well established. Like, there's, like, the town, right? There's the dungeon, and then there's the place that the gods meet up. And the dungeon just goes down. You know, so, like, in my mind, there's, like, this little... It's like you're playing, like, one of those games. Like one of those, like, Japanese games where you have your town, and you go to your dungeon, you try to get as far as you can in the dungeon, you collect loot, you go back to the town, cash out, and then you try to go further in the dungeon, you know, and et cetera. Like, it was that world, you know?
Yeah.
But there were people that were like, I've been to the 20th level, and when you get to the 18th level, this happens. Or these are the type of monsters that are on, like, the 7th level, and stuff like that. So, like, even though it's a small frame of a world, there's still a lot of, like, you still have that feeling of history.
Yeah, you have a lot of depth.
Right.
Yeah. And I did enjoy, during the two-parter where he got his knife, they went into a section of the city that everybody was like a... I don't think they really explained why it was dubious, but it was just interesting that it wasn't like a ghetto or anything like that, but just, you know, they talked about how different parts of the town, you know, you'd encounter different things. I don't know, I agree with you. I think it was very well fleshed out for a smaller environment. Yeah, I actually think that was a nice setup, because it's like, if he was from outside, I guess he was basically a country bumpkin or something like that.
Or maybe like just the fringes of the town or whatever. Yeah. It's, I really like it. I mean, like, I guess that sort of speaks for itself. So here's, like, I don't know if this happens to you when you're watching anime, but sometimes I'll just go on an anime binge, and it doesn't really matter what the anime is, because, like, this isn't, like, grand log on whatever, like, legendary level, you know? It's, like, it's surprisingly solid, and I just noticed a few things when I was watching it, but, like, I ended up watching all 13 episodes or whatever of this, like, pretty much in a night. I watched 12 in a night, and I woke up and watched the 13th one. And, and you know, you have to have some moderation.
Some moderation is important.
Exactly. But, and then after that, I was like, oh, well, you know, I only have, like, 2 episodes left of Triage X, so I'll just knock that out on my bench. And I couldn't even watch, like, a quarter of the episode once I tuned into it, you know? And, like, so it's definitely quality. You know, maybe not the highest quality, but it's worth the watch.
Yeah, I feel like it's a very well done, for what it sets out to do, it does it very well.
Right.
I mean, it's not setting out to be groundbreaking in any way, but I mean, it's a very enjoyable watch, and it's not a chore to watch. I mean, I like the music. I mean, I like the character design.
Some of the comedy was actually pretty spot on. Like,
yeah, some of the comedy was actually funny.
Did you get to the point where, well, we're going into spoilers soon.
Oh, yeah, this is super spoiler.
Yeah. So, I enjoyed it. Check it out. It's a solid watch, even past 5 episodes. So, well, I guess, should I just, like, maybe save that for, like, the later, in case people are watching and only watch?
Yeah, so now we'll go into, I mean, basically, I would recommend this to anybody who enjoys, actually,
it's sort of...
the harem shows, I mean, it's still basically a harem show.
But I wouldn't even, like Triage X seems like a harem sort of esque thing, but it seems, like, offensive. You know? Like,
just inherently by existing, it was offensive.
Just everything about it was just a little offensive. You know? This one, it was like... It was just sort of, like, light on everything. Like they had a little bit of comedy, a little bit of action, a little bit of harem, a little bit of, like, you know, this, that, and the other. A little adventure, you know? But none of it, like, fully like it's hard for me to really put the genre the harem, like when you look at it, you think harem anime. It definitely has harem aspects. But what I'm trying to say is that there's so many other influences from different genres that I would just say, check it out. And if it's really not in your genre, then, then don't continue. But
yeah, and I think for a show where, all the girls end up falling in love with the main character, or at least liking him, mm-hmm. I think they did it very innocuously. I mean, they did it very... The main character is just sweet.
Right. You sort of you kind of fall in love. At least
you kind of understand. He's kind of cute, and he's very nice, and he's just so crazy nice that, the girl Wallenstein, whatever. Yeah. The one who saves his life in the first
mm-hmm.
episode, who he falls in love with, his whole thing is whenever he runs into her again in the show, he just runs away. Like he can't even speak to her.
And like, why are you running away? He's like, I'm not running away.
She doesn't understand. And what's funny is they kind of do show that most of the other adventurers, most of the other dudes, and like the guy in Wallenstein's group, they're dicks. Like they're just jerks. You just don't meet many guys that are at all nice, and I think that's part of the reason they're all shocked by Bell, because
even adventurers in general seem to be really cutthroat, really like it's all about me, and so
and he really did it for like this very pure reason. And his whole thing is like it's not even that he wants to like get girls. It's like he just wants to have like a romantic. You know what I mean? Like it's not like GTO. It's not like Onizuka.
Right.
Who's like just clearly trying to just bang girls.
Yeah, he really just likes one girl.
Yeah, he really just likes one girl.
A lot of other girls like him. Yeah, but he really just likes one girl.
And it's like it's not even I don't know. It's just so pure that you can't help but like this guy. He's just so ridiculously, I guess, cute. That there's
and I kind of like that the girl that probably likes him the least, or seemingly, at least it's not like, oh, Belle. Like it's the girl that he likes. She's sort of like, because he doesn't interact with her at all. So she's like, who are you and why are you acting so weird?
Yeah, and she's cool because she's a pro adventurer. She's awesome.
Yeah.
She's just super, super, super cool. She's actually so cool that she's gotten her own spin-off light novel series and her own manga based on that spin-off light novel series. Yeah, so
So this is like a real popular manga series.
Yeah, this is huge. I'm looking at the Wikipedia. Yeah. I can't believe you said that. Yeah, so there's the light novel that started in January 2013, and it's got 8 volumes, and it's been selling like hotcakes, which I can't believe I just said that. And then there's the manga based on that light novel, and then there's the light novel based on the light novel, which is about...
I know I'm in an anime show, so I should probably know these things, but what's the difference between a light novel and a manga?
I've actually not ever read a light novel, so I think the way I'm going to describe it...
I don't read light novels. That's the difference. Google it.
It's like there's shorter books, and there's usually a lot of them in a series, and they're short, as far as I know, they're short reads that usually the author teams up with an artist, and so there is a lot of illustrations, and the text is usually fairly simple, and it's kind of halfway in a weird. I don't know if this is the best way to describe it. It feels like it's halfway between a novel and a comic book.
So it's like
I don't know.
Like maybe meaning like production budget. Is that sort of? Would you think that's what you think of? Like it's not.
Again, I've never read one. But,
okay, yeah, maybe. All right. So
I might say that I think the light probably refers to that it's a light read in comparison to a novel, as opposed to like a tome.
Are there pictures and stuff like that? Like
there are, yeah. There's a lot of pictures. Okay. Yeah.
Because like if there's no pictures, I'm out. Yeah. Like that's just how we roll.
Oh yeah.
Pictures are buff.
Yeah, so then there's another 2 manga series. There's a 4-panel comedy series. This is this is a huge show. Like, this is really very popular.
Man, like, I don't know how I feel about the multiple manga. Like, I feel like it's almost like trying to milk a franchise. Like with Naruto, how I'm adamantly not read the new Naruto because that motherfucker ended, so it should be over. Yeah. You know, like.
Yeah. So yeah.
Is that train in the background I hear?
That's a train. So what I'm going to do is
you're moving soon. You should at least let everyone hear your train before you.
Oh God! But the train is so fucking annoying.
I'll let you know if it gets too loud, or at least on my headphones or whatever.
So if I can't hear you,
I'll send you a message on Skype.
Yeah. Well, so there's going to be a big train that's going to go by, and it's going to be really fucking terrible. And yeah.
I hope your ears bleed.
I might.
It's so ominous.
I know it is. Yeah. I mean, we got lucky.
Is it like the Doom train in Final Fantasy VI or whatever?
Yeah, it kind of feels like that. I mean, we've gotten lucky the past 3 or 4 shows.
But right now, you're sold.
The last guy who came through just laid on the horn for like a minute and a half. Right. So I'm just gonna shit my pants and hope that he doesn't do
that loud. I mean, it's kind of loud.
I mean, you know, it's pretty loud. I mean, so basically, for everybody listening, if you move somewhere and you notice if it's a house, if it's an apartment building, whatever it is, and you see train tracks next to that motherfucker, ask the person or the people who own the establishment or whatever, or you're getting the house from, be like, is this an active railroad? And if they say yes, then don't make the mistake I made, which was, oh yeah, it probably doesn't come by too often, and just assuming that. Right. Just ask them, how often does this shit go by? And they will tell you, not that often. Maybe like once a day.
Wait.
And then Google it. Yeah. Find out actually how often the train schedule is. And if it says anything like erratic, just don't do it. Just don't.
Exactly. Did it pass? Is it gone now?
Yeah, it's gone.
I feel like that was like a baby train.
It was not like the guy this morning that I was talking about. That I was trying to draw.
I'm used to hearing like your windows crack and your walls shake.
Yeah. Well, this one must not have been a very long one or a heavy one because usually when it goes by, it's like 10 minutes and everything rattles, scares the cat. You know, it just fucks everything up for 10 minutes. But yeah. So what I wanted to say actually was, funny enough, I've really enjoyed the Naruto spinoff. I really liked it.
Really? As in, like, you're actually reading it.
Actually, I've enjoyed it more than the last 3 years of Naruto.
Maybe that's what they needed. I don't know. I mean, I'll wait.
Yeah. I mean, and it's only going to be 10 chapters, so I don't think it's...
Oh, really?
Yeah, well...
Until they do another spinoff.
Well, I was gonna put an asterisk on that. Right now, there's something going on called the Naruto New Generation, or like New... something project. It's the Naruto project. And basically what they're doing is there's a whole bunch of novels that have been coming out, all based on individual characters from the series. And then there's a movie coming out in August, which is Boruto, which is Naruto's kid, which the author is helping write the screenplay. So, I mean, there's a lot of Naruto this year. So, I mean, the movie actually looks good. I saw the trailer. It's actually, I put it on Tea Time with Godzilla. I'm just going to plug that real quick. And it actually looks really exciting. I mean, and for me, I think the reason why I was really happy with it, and with the spin-off manga, is that I feel like I've spent so many years with Naruto trying to be Hokage that it's just really, really satisfying to see him actually be the fucking Hokage and own stuff, you know? Yeah. That's been really fun. But anyway, before we get on a tangent with that, so it seems like the hip thing to do now, if you got a popular property, so let's say Attack on Titan has a shit ton of light novels.
Does it?
It's got a comedy spin-off manga. It had 2 spin-off mangas, one about
They have their own cleaning supplies, you know.
Yeah. And I think most of the other mangas have ended, and so, but yeah, it just seems like it's the big thing to do now is to have like 3 or 4 different series.
I guess if it's all canon and sort of like develops the world more, then maybe it's not that bad. But
yeah, I mean, I know the Titan spin-off manga even got an anime OVA. So yeah, that is nice. That at least it's canon, you know.
Yeah.
Not like just totally wasting your time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is pretty popular. I mean, getting back to Familia Myth, because I'm not going to fucking follow it, but yeah, and who? Let's see who. Oh yeah, so JC staff animated it. They did a really good job.
Yeah. So here's something that I thought was kind of neat, and I'm not sure. So I have a little bit of a story just on animation, specifically the fights. Is like the animation was good, but when the fights, like when we're talking about wanting to like progress with the character, you could see him getting stronger and faster at a sort of consistent rate. Like, did you notice that when you were watching it? Like, I thought that was really cool. You might have been about to say something else, but so sorry for interrupting. But
no, that was fun. I mean, I'm glad you brought that up because I really enjoyed the fight that he had with the monkey when he got the knife. I thought that was really cool. Yeah. And like you said, you can see him getting better each time. Right.
It's like when the stats increase, and there's a little clip later or whatever where it shows like his movements in comparison to like a comrade's movements, and then the comrades they're attacking the same guys, but like the guy's just moving so much slower. Which reminds me of like just a thing about animation, which I think is neat. When Rurouni Kenshin Trust and Betrayal, right?
Oh.
So good. One of my friends said something because he this was back in VHS, and he was like going like frame by frame because I think they were doing like a recording off of VHS in order to make a music video sort of thing. But anyway.
Oh, yeah. So, the old days.
Yeah. He told me the observation. He was like, the reason that Kenshin kicks everyone's ass is that he moves 2 frames before they move 1 frame.
Oh.
So, like, he actually, like, moves faster, you know? Like, yeah. And that's... When it's done like that, it just makes the fight scenes look so fluid, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it looks really cool. And how, having seen the whole thing, do you see that progression continue with him? Like, does he just keep getting better?
Yeah, he keeps getting better, stronger, faster, different ability. Like, you know, he's leveling up his character, you know? Yeah. And so you kind of like the guy, so you watch him level up, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, and I kind of feel like I wish I had watched the rest of it now, because the part where I stopped, it was really good. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it also felt like the story hadn't even started yet. Is the feeling that I got. He really only met his support character,
right?
And then that was it. I mean, and in the opening and the ending theme, you can tell that he's going to get a team, he's going to get a dungeon party and all that, but I didn't get to meet them. So with having seen the rest of it, how do you think they handled the
introduction of the new characters?
Yeah, and also, did you feel like with just 12, 13 episodes, did you feel satisfied with what you saw, or was it one of those shows that are pretty common where you get to the 13th episode and it just stops?
Fairly satisfied. The way that actually, the thing that I dislike the most is that I don't like the fact that in the ending scene, it showed all of his support characters. Like, and not in the ending, like at the end of each episode, you know, or whatever. Like, so then, like when you see that the little girl with a huge bag on her back, you know that they're working together, you know? Like, when you see, like, the red-haired whatever guy, you know that they're going to end up working together. And the way that they actually present it in the anime, since all of the characters seem to have, like be fleshed out, like you don't know if it's it's one of the characters that are working at the bar, or if it's like who's going to be going down to the dungeon with them. You don't know if this character that he's interacting with now is just another temporary character or not, which I think is just a showing of the development of the world.
Yeah, yeah, and that's an interesting point, because it's kind of a shame they showed all that in the opening and ending, because like the support girl, the whole story that I stopped at was it wasn't clear if she was on his side at all.
Exactly.
But I didn't have there was no drama there, because I saw her in the opening.
Exactly.
So I was like, oh, I guess...
right, well
I guess she's cool.
I guess he charms her,
Yeah, so I guess that works out.
Right.
Yeah. And I noticed that the red-haired guy, he's in a quick shot in one of the early episodes when Belle is looking through, like, the armor shop or something. I think the guy is there. So I thought that was kind of cool, as I figured that was the same dude from the opening.
Oh, I didn't even know that, but...
Yeah, I mean, and I figured, I was like, oh, it looks like that guy from the opening, and I really thought he was going to be in
the next,
yeah, and then he wasn't. Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, so I guess he was there.
Dude, I almost want to watch it again.
Yeah, I mean, I really did not expect to enjoy it as much as I did. And I'm going to go back. I think I'm going to finish it.
Yeah. I would actually, when we were talking about Kiara Jackson, I was like, this might have some things so it becomes better in the future. This definitely gets better.
Okay.
Like that was like, maybe there's a stretch. This one, it's like, it's a fact. Like, people get developed more. You like the characters more. There's there's one scene. So I guess like super spoiler alert. Eyes or whatever.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
They end up training together.
Oh, cool.
And like, she fucking wrecks him. Like it's not even a thing. Like, and she's like, oh, like you're getting a lot better real quickly. And he's like, you're like kicking my ass all the time. And there's this like one series of events where it was just like where it would just show her roundhouse kicking him and knocking him out, and then like show like him passed out on the ground, and she's like sitting next to him, and he's just like he's just like, he like comes to and is like terrified, and then immediately after that shows her kicking him in the face again. And then he's just like, oh my god, and he comes back to it, and then another kick in the face, and just like that execution was hilarious.
That's awesome.
And like the audio, it was like a boom, da 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 boom, da 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 boom. It's just like, God, it was so.
That's
funny.
Awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, and that goes back to what you said earlier, which was the comedy. It can be really right on in the show,
right.
which
sort of
is cool.
Up, because it's like they're funny aspects. It's fleshed out. I wouldn't say that it's like everything is funny or whatever, but there's just some clips. That's really funny.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to watch it.
I would definitely
have to watch it more. Does Hestia get less annoying, or does she? I mean, she's not super annoying, but she's definitely, I feel like, kind of a weak link at this point, because she just hasn't done much.
Hestia is his goddess?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of just like that support sort of character, and it's like whenever Belle, like the thing is, whenever Belle's at, whenever he's out with a girl, she's, because you saw him getting a knife, right?
Yeah.
So like whenever he's out, she has to work in order to pay back the for the knife. So
and I thought it was funny how he ran into her working.
Right, no, but that keeps happening. Like throughout, it's like he's like goes out with another person, and it's just like, oh, I'm just gonna go like to this dinner. It's like she's the waitress, or oh, I'm just gonna like go to this little market, and she's like selling something, and she's like, what the fuck?
That's really funny.
Yeah,
that's actually really amusing. Well, yeah, and so speaking of Hestia, we've got to talk about the elephant in the room with the series, which is, and this is important, what are your feelings about the string?
About the string?
Yeah, her boob string.
Not sure if I remember.
Oh, come on. Hestia's big thing is she has this blue ribbon that is tied to both of her arms and goes right under her boobs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that might actually be a plot point.
Really?
Yeah. Well, something happened later. And I remember being like, there seems to be a lot of emphasis on these, like, little string things that are, like, that have been, like, unleashed or whatever. Like, I don't really know. I thought that was, like, her hair. Is it also, like, does she also have, like, hair shit?
Well, I'm looking at the poster for the series, so this is why I'm this exact. But, yeah, she's got these blue hair things, too. So.
Yeah. I mean.
But the string or the ribbon thing, it kind of became, like, a joke on, like, the Japanese fan art forums and like Twitter and stuff, so they were drawing all these characters with the ribbon.
Oh, and just like wraps around her arms, so it's like
so
actually just terrible design. It wouldn't work if she moved her arms at all.
Would not work at all.
Looking at it now,
it's just one of those designs where you look at it like
it's like only in anime, you know, like,
only in anime, yeah, because I saw a really funny picture where they drew the ribbon on a Gundam. Yeah, that was really funny. Actually, so anyway, it's so ridiculous that. Anyway, I had to ask you about it, but I definitely didn't expect the response of I think that's a plot point. I just was like, all right, yeah, okay, cool.
But then again, wouldn't be completely surprised.
I wouldn't actually. Right. Yeah, that's how jaded I am at this point.
It's not even necessarily jaded. It's just that, like, I feel like, you know, a lot of times they say, like, with subject matter in general, that you don't want to go too middle of the road. You want to offend some people, and then, like, so you sort of differentiate yourself. But I feel like this is, like, really middle on the road, where they could sort of do anything. I'd be like, yeah, that's legit.
Yeah, I mean, basically, if you watched Kill la Kill and were not offended by anything you saw on that show, you will be fine with this show.
Sure.
You will be absolutely fine. Yeah. You will see nothing in it that will at all irritate you. If you made it through all of Kill la Kill without seeing anything,
right,
you had a problem with it. Yeah.
But yeah, and like, I thought that this anime would be a lot more offensive than it was.
I did too. I actually really thought I wouldn't like it. It just didn't seem like. You know, I guess this is, you know, something really nice about the podcast, actually, that we're doing, is I wouldn't have watched it.
Yeah.
I just don't think I would have watched it. Or it would have just been one of those things where, like, yeah, I'll get around to it.
And then you never actually watch it.
Then I never
watched like, it. I can say with confidence that I would have never watched this.
Yeah. But, and again, just based on, I think that title really fucks it up. I think the title really messes with its advertising, because I saw the cover. I mean, I saw the light novel at Barnes.
Is it like just her with huge tits? Like,
I think it's her sitting next to Belle.
Okay,
it's not too bad. I mean, the ribbon's there, but I mean, it's not too bad. But it's the title that fucks you up, because, you know, I looked at it and I was like, oh, I really like the art, and then I saw the title and I was like, well, fuck that. I mean, I'm not. It's just like, it looks stupid. The title really makes it dumb, and that's just a shame, because the series is actually way better than. You know, that's why I think Familia Myth is a better. They should have just stuck with that, because, I mean, you know, at least that's interesting. I mean, and at least applies to the show, because he doesn't pick up many girls in a dungeon, nor is it ever asked, is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon?
Right, like, it sort of seems like he's like a voyeur, or like the title makes it sort of seem like he's like a misogynistic dude.
Yeah, and it doesn't apply to him at all.
Exactly, it's insane. Yeah. There's one scene that, like, I thought was a throwback. Let's see. Did you finish the supporter arc or whatever?
I'm looking at the episode count, and I think episode 5 is like the first part of the. I think episode 6 is where they go into more of the support characters' story. Because at the moment, I know she's part of a familia that's really poor, but we don't know why. And I just don't know a lot about her, other than she stole his knife.
Right, and then he was like, it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, he was like, oh, that's totally fine. I'm happy I have it back. Thanks. See you tomorrow.
I thought that it was neat how when she handed it off because she was trying to pawn it, it was completely dull and useless.
That was
because the blade, you know, as they were saying before, it completely reflects is reflective on the power of the user. So, you know, when he uses it, it's like, holy fucking shit. But if I were to use it, it'd be like, man, I can't even cut this bread. Like,
actually, I didn't even. I don't know why I'm agreeing with you. I thought it was. Not that I disagree with you, but I thought it actually was because it wasn't Belle that was holding it, but it was actually. I forgot it was dependent on the magic of the user.
Right.
Okay. And because the supporter she used like a wand or something to shoot her magic.
She used a blade. It was a magic weapon, and it was like a dagger that would shoot that shot like a fireball.
Okay. Well, that's right. And actually, that brings me to, I got to say, my favorite scene in the show, or the one that I find myself chuckling about the most, is got to be when when Hestia tells him that he has fireball magic, and she goes to sleep, and he's like, well, I've got to try this shit out.
Right.
I just got to do it. And then he shoots the fireball at everything until he passes out because he's used all of his mana or whatever.
Yeah, they call it like I think like Mind Zero or Mind Blank, which basically like you just completely burn yourself out and pass out.
And I love that because it really reminded me of like playing World of Warcraft or something. I would play for a long time.
Right.
And then I would be like, oh, okay, I'm going to stop. And then I would learn a new skill or something, and I'd be really pumped about it. And then I would play for another 6 hours because I would just be like, this shit is awesome.
Right. Yeah, it's like I just need to gain one more level, gain a level, gain an ability. A new ability!
Yeah. I'm like, what? I can summon a different demon now? That's great. It's useless? I don't care.
Right. It's like a social demon? It's like, whatever. Sure. You're going to talk to this monster.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed that. And again, I think the story isn't the most original thing in the world, but I think where it really is the most charming is in its humor and its sort of reflection in how fantasy games usually play out.
Right.
I think it did it really well without just feeling, because what am I trying to think of?
It nudged, so what do they say, like the fourth wall or whatever? Like,
yeah,
like it's sort of like there was a lot of like wink wink or like like it definitely has like a targeted audience, which is gamers essentially.
But my big problem is this is going way back, but the Dot Hack anime, right? I just when I would watch it, I felt like I was missing out. It's like, well, I should just play the game. This is boring.
Yeah.
Why am I doing this? Whereas this, I really felt like I wasn't missing out. I was like, oh yeah, I know that from the experiences I've had playing games in general. But with this story, I didn't feel like I was watching something that was just made as a spin-off of something else. I mean, it really does. It supports itself on its own two legs very nicely, while at the same time referencing and making fun of, I think very universal gamer experiences.
Right.
So I thought that was really well done.
Yeah, I think that's strongly to the point of the development of the main character. Yeah. I'm assuming. I didn't watch much of Dot Hack, but I'm assuming you didn't really care about the main character's development as much as this one. And
I think, thinking about Belle, he's just such a blank slate in a lot of ways. He's just so nice and I think he's just so pure that it's really easy to kind of project yourself onto him because he's just he's got an interesting, just enough of a background to be his own character, but at the same time, I just feel like he's just so easy. He was so easy for me to project onto.
Right.
With my experiences and, playing games and stuff. I was like, oh, yeah. Cool. Felt really... it would be interesting to see how... I mean, did you feel that way, or...?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was interesting because it wasn't necessarily a blank slate to project yourself onto, but I think that he like embodied the eagerness and excitement of a kid really well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, he was like the kid from Jurassic World, man. You know, he was like the little kid.
Don't talk to me about it. No, he wasn't. That kid only knew numbers and fucking bullshit because he was a one-dimensional character. Please.
Because he was so excited, you know.
I've held back on making so many jabs at Jurassic World like throughout this podcast because Jesus Christ.
We need more teeth out here. We need more teeth. We need more teeth.
Right. Yeah, that's nice catchphrase, bro.
Oh, thanks,
guys.
Yeah, so I mean, it was done really well, and I guess. I mean, if they really wanted to make it realistic, he would have joined up with some groups with like people who got really mad at him for not doing enough DPS.
Dude, there was on Crunchyroll, on like the comments or whatever, there are a lot of like MMO like throwouts or whatever, be like, blah 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 stood in fire minus
yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
That would have been fun. Like he gets a group where, you know, he's in a serious dungeon. They've spent a lot of time fighting the monsters, and then their healer drops, just DCs.
Right. That probably
and then the tank gets really mad.
Sword Art Online, though, because this is like, again, it's own.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, this wasn't
really like an MMO. This was like a single player RPG or whatever.
Yeah, it's just
Dungeon Crawler.
I think. Yeah, I guess I've just played
too much WoW.
Too much WoW.
Yeah.
Too much WoW. But yeah, so who would you recommend this to?
I mean,
I know we kind of covered that a little bit.
Just it's sort of like what we were saying before. Just anyone who, I'll actually just say pretty much anyone. Watch, the first few episodes first, and know that it will get better. And if you think it's decent, I would say continue watching it because you'll probably like it more.
Yeah, and that's great to hear because really, I think probably the point of contention is probably going to be Hestia because she's most of the fan service and she's also most of the creepier side of the story, which is all the other gods refer to Belle as her kid or whatever.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, and then she's always trying to hook up with him.
Yeah.
Which is I'm thinking about, I feel a little bad saying this, but from a non-anime perspective, it's that's fucking weird, but having watched a lot of shows, I was just all right, whatever, yeah. Because also, I guess from Evangelion, I'm just used to the word children being thrown around and it not really meaning, I don't know, they said that a lot, the 14th children.
Well, is it also part of the dialogue in this?
Yeah. It also is just a term that it is a fantasy series, so who the fuck knows? They're gods, but yeah. So but if it gets better, and definitely, I enjoyed watching it. So I thought those things were negligible at best. They're a little weird if you're not familiar with anime super well, but again, Triage X. This is. So this show I think really is quite tasteful in most of what it does, especially when you think about what it could have been.
Yeah, and I really think that when you say what it could have been, I immediately thought of Sword Art Online and this sort of because it does sort of seem like that anime based off of a video game thing, but I think it differentiates itself really well.
Yeah, because Sword Art Online's big failing was it got really weird with everybody liking him. Doesn't his sister become a big character later on? It was just weird. I was getting weird vibes from it.
Yeah.
And it was just too much. It's this guy is just too automatically good. Whereas what I like about Belle is they give you a reason for him being good.
Right, and also when the girls like them, they're not oh my god, I'm in love with you, you're the only one, but it's more like you're a leader, you're someone that I want to be around because I'm just you're a good person,
Yeah, you have good qualities. And all the women in the show really have their own thing going on, which is nice. Like, it's not really... I mean, Hestia, yeah, I mean, she's the leader. I mean, he's the only one in her familia, but, like, I just feel like all the female characters have other shit going on.
Right.
And he's not the center of the world.
Right. It's sort of like he swings by their shop, and they're like, oh, hey, it's nice to see you, they're just really pleasant towards them, but they're not like, I'm watching you from the bushes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I thought that was well done, too, and it never, like you said, it's very middle of the road in how it handles things, so there's really, I mean, really, I'd probably recommend it to, especially anybody who really enjoys fantasy games and stuff, especially if they have that background and they've watched a few animes and they're familiar with the setup and stuff like that. I think it's a very enjoyable series, really.
Yeah.
And I'll be watching the rest of it because I mean, I kind of want to know what the deal is with that other goddess who was trying to mess up his shit. Who like? I mean,
they're all linked off of the Greek gods and stuff like that, which I think is...
No, that is cool.
Yeah, which is neat. And it actually has relevance further on. There's like a super spoiler, but I'm not going to share that because it's like 13th episode into season thing.
Oh, okay. But, yeah, I am going to watch it.
So. Yeah. But it's funny and it's really good.
Excellent. All right. Well, I guess this is like a surprise hit.
Yeah,
basically.
For sure.
Really, really enjoyable, and everybody should check it out. And also, we watched it on Crunchyroll, and I gotta say, everybody should watch this on Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll is really cool.
Yeah.
And that's my plug for Crunchyroll.
Yeah. Crunchyroll, good shit. They but I think it's cool, like what they're doing. Yeah.
It is, and I've been using like the iPad app for them for a long time, and I've never had a problem with it. And I mean, just thinking about this show, the quality was always whatever. They're not sponsoring us, but yeah.
Right.
So that's my plug for that. And also, so you can watch it on Crunchyroll. It's also been licensed by Sentai Filmworks, so it is going to come out on DVD or Blu-ray at some point.
Right.
So that's cool. And then if you're interested in reading it, so I mean, like I was saying, it's out at Barnes & Noble. So this shit is not hard to find.
Did you read any of it?
No, I haven't. But I mean, I might.
Yeah, I might. I'm sort of curious on the comparison or whatever.
Yeah, I really might. Now it's published by Yen Press, and it looks like they've also got the manga too, or the main manga that's based off of the main light novel series.
Right.
So yeah, I'll probably check it out, especially now that I know it's good.
Yeah.
I'll definitely check it out, and I am interested in seeing what the art looks like because I did really like the cover and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll be checking it out. And
it's hard because it's hard for me to think of enjoying those fights without seeing them animated because they're animated so well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna say just on that, I don't think I'm gonna like it better than the show because the show just did a really good job.
Yeah.
Really building the atmosphere and whatnot. So, and like you said, the animation for the fights was great. And I think a lot of the humor, too, is based on the timing that the director spent.
Yeah, with the audio and the characters and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the voice acting is good, too. So, yeah, I mean, the book's not going to be the same. But I'm interested in what the art looks like.
Yeah. I'd rank it A, not like the S rank, but I definitely rank it a solid A.
That's very cool of you to mention the S rank.
Yeah.
I'd say it's an A. Maybe an A minus, but
here's a question: what do you like better, this or BBB?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to go with Blood Blockade Battlefront. I've been watching more of it.
Does it get better?
Well, I really like it. I mean, it's still... I think I've got 2 or 3 episodes left, and I was hearing a lot of people were like really excited about the finale. And funny enough, the finale is now totally delayed because apparently they were working on it, and the official announcement was that it's way over the broadcast time slot that they had. So,
over as in, like, it's just a longer episode?
Yeah, I mean, that's what they said, which is weird because I think all of this is planned in advance.
Right? Like, how do you mess that up? That's like the guy...
Yeah,
do you remember when, like, there was the person who sent out the fucking satellite or whatever, but then, like, measured the lenses wrong? Like, in, like, the wrong...
Yeah.
It's sort of like, how did you fuck that up? Like, how do you think that, like, inches and feet were the same thing? Like how did you think that, like, a minute and a second was different? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I kind of get the feeling, and this isn't anything I read anywhere. This is just totally my own assumption. It's been selling really, really well on Blu-ray in Japan, and so I kind of get the feeling that they were only going to do 12, 13 episodes. I think it's just 12 actually, and I feel like they saw how popular it got, and they changed the ending.
Interesting.
Now, that's not based on anything.
Right.
That's just
that's tinfoil cap talking.
Yeah, that's just total tinfoil cap. But as soon as I heard that and I saw the sales, that's what I thought about.
Right.
It was like, because Bones, which is animating it, does really like to do their split season. So they did it with Noragami, which got a 12-episode season like 2 years ago, right. I think, and they're doing the second season this year, you know. So they do like doing that, and I feel like they just saw how much it was selling and changed it. On the other hand, it could be what they said, which is somehow maybe they drew something that was so cool that was like, we've got to put this in.
It cannot be contained. It's like Gom's fucking hair.
Yeah. Well, that was a nice bringing us back to the start of the conversation. Yeah. Nice. Wow. 3-point shot nice, there. Man. Yeah. So it could be something like that. I don't know. But I've watched a few more episodes. Well, you know, as I talk about it, I'm going to say that I'm not sure which one I would... Because what's weird is that Familia Myth is such a surprisingly sweet show, and it's just so relaxing to watch.
Right.
That
you can watch, 13 episodes in a 12-hour period.
Yeah, whereas Battlefront is uneven, really.
It's either, like, really good or kind of flat.
Yeah, yeah. And not everything quite works. But when it does work, it works really well.
Right.
So when it works, I like it better than Familia Myth.
But for consistency, maybe.
I mean, Familia Myth is fucking consistent, and you've seen all of it. And if you say it, I believe it. You know?
I was really surprised. I didn't think that I'd like it as much as I did.
Yeah, so I mean, sold. I'm definitely gonna be finishing the rest of the show
tonight,
happily, like very happily.
Maybe not tonight. Tonight. I want to know when you're done so I can talk to you about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, actually, and I think it's one of those stories, too, that the more I sit with it, the more I like it.
Yeah, it does that. It does that for sure. And it definitely has that, like, oh, wow, that was a pretty solid episode. I wonder what's going to have the next episode. Oh, yeah, that was pretty solid. Oh, yeah, that's really good. I wonder what's going to happen then. Oh, and then you're done.
Yeah, and then, So yeah, I'm going to try to finish it as soon as possible and then get back to you about it. And I guess when I finish it, I guess we can talk about, do you think it's worth discussing the rest of it in the side part of another episode?
I mean, maybe. I don't think, we've talked about doing that, but I don't think anything's ever really come back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we bring it up, we bring it up, but...
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of these shows, too, just aren't long enough to do... I mean, most of the show, I think most of what we watch has only been 12, 13 episodes in total. Right. So when you watch half of it, you really are...
Right, there isn't really that much more content left.
Yeah. But yeah, so anything else is there something what didn't you like about it? Like, what do you think it could have done better at?
God. What didn't I like?
Well, that could be our answer.
Yeah, I'm really trying to think. Maybe if other characters fought more, or maybe actually, I think that if there was a little more development into, and this is a little contradictory of me because I was ragging on the whole light novels and different branches off of. But I'm sort of curious about like other gods, what they do, other familiars, you know, like the sort of like other characters and stuff like that. So maybe just more content.
Yeah.
More I feel like the characters that were there were developed really well, but like, you know, it just would be cool if there were more.
Yeah, honestly, I'd like to check out the manga that's about Ai's Wallenstein, because she's really cool, and that could be a really interesting story, especially since she's in the high tiers of power, and Belle, you know, started off from ground zero.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting too with because when they were training together, you know, she was like, "Why are you trying to get so strong?" And he's like, "Well, there's someone that I'm trying to catch up to." Of course, referring to Eyes. And then she was like, "Same here." You know.
Oh.
So I don't know who, but
so they didn't reveal that character.
No, that character has not been revealed.
Well, that's really cool. So that means there's, like you were saying with that world building, that's really awesome that there's groups that are even further ahead.
Yeah.
Hypothetically.
Yeah. Or I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's like a god. Maybe I don't know what sort of like level it is.
That's really cool.
But yeah. Oh God, I really want to tell you the big crux or whatever. It's really funny and it makes so much sense at the end. You need to finish it.
Okay, I've got to finish it.
For anyone who's listening or who have read it, it's in reference to the grandfather. That's my hint. So like throughout the series, there's, you know, quotes or whatever from the grandfather and stuff, and I almost feel like that's sort of why it's titled the way that it's titled. Actually, but is it wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon or whatever? I think it's almost related to the grandfather.
Oh, that's really interesting. Okay,
that's my teaser. But
I gotta finish this shit.
What's next on the plate?
Well, we're at kind of an interesting juncture because the spring season has totally ended, and now all of the summer shows are starting. So, let me pull up a list here and kind of go through.
Well, have we gotten any? Starting and there's not enough content to really watch. Then we can just keep on doing spring shows, and who knows? We might both binge watch an entire season. Season if it's really good.
Like what just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see. Have we gotten any? I haven't gotten any recommendations.
Didn't someone say like they wanted Isran to pick up girls in a dungeon and like a Gundam thing or something like that? Yeah.
So one friend of mine was telling me to absolutely watch Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a... Fuck, I said the title again. So yes, that show. And then another buddy of mine said we should watch Gundam: The Origin. Which is an OVA series of which the only the first episode is out, but I think it's movie length. I think it's going to be 4
hour long
movie. Or? Yeah, I think so, something like that. And then the other recommendation was there's a new Studio Ghibli film out, which I think is called When Marnie Was There. Now the problem with that is that it is out technically, but it's only playing in I think it had a very limited theater run before I left on my trip, and I don't think it's playing anywhere near me.
And now it's gone.
Yeah, so basically, I'm going to pick it up on Blu-ray and watch it, but I don't I don't know otherwise what to do with that. But let's see. I guess. Yeah, so we could do Gundam: The Origin, or there's also the Heroic Legend of Arslan, which is the Full Metal Alchemist author's. Well, she's doing 2 manga right now. One is Silver Spoon, which she's writing herself as well, and then the other is Arslan, which she's actually not writing, just doing the art. But Arslan, Silver Spoon got an anime. Geez, I'm going on a huge tangent.
Yeah,
basically. Yeah, fuck. So Arslan, that was the other spring show before we did the podcast that I was like really excited about watching.
So what you're trying to tell me is things and stuff. So we don't know what we're doing next, but we're gonna be doing something.
Yeah. We're gonna be doing something next.
Who knows? Maybe it'll be another movie.
yeah. Well, I am seeing Terminator Genesis.
I'm not.
Yeah, so maybe not. So basically, if anybody has a show from the spring, or I guess an older show,
there was also the cooking one. Did you hear about that?
Oh yeah, Shogeki no Soma.
You would know what that's called.
Yeah, well, it runs in the Viz Media's English edition of Weekly Jump. I read that, and it was in that, and that's how I know about it. Also, I know about it. Actually, I don't know if I should phrase it like that. I am aware that the artist of the manga formerly drew porn. So that's why.
And I may know all the specific types of porn that he formerly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that. I don't know who the artist is.
It's like the earlier I was thinking about. Never mind. Anyway, it's just like. It's too long of a convoluted tangent that only is me digging a hole in the ground.
Well, it's okay. I mean, I just did. I guess it was like a 5-minute tangent on Arslan, but
right.
Yeah, whatever you want to share.
Yeah, we're gonna find something.
Yeah, and actually, that just reminded me. I did want to do. So there's a new Dragon Ball TV show that's airing in 23 hours and 54 minutes.
Oh shit! Is it 30-minute or is it 20-minute hour?
Yeah, it's just gonna be a half hour. Okay. I don't think anybody's streaming it, which is really a shame. But anyway,
they're probably like, what do you want for streaming it? They're like, your entire lineage.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck you, Japan.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think were we talking about this before? Where back when the show was announced in April, everybody was bothering one of the Toonami people on Twitter about it, and he said, "Yeah, we definitely would love to get it." But he said that because Dragon Ball Z Kai has been coming out, but nobody was excited about Kai because it's fucking Dragon Ball Z, except shittier looking with no filler. Right. So nobody cared about that, and so Toonami got it, and they've been rebroadcasting it. But Dragon Ball Super is brand new, so everybody fucking wants it. Yeah. And that's what the Toonami guy said on Twitter, was that everybody wants it, and that's part of the reason why nobody's announced it yet, because I'm sure Toei Animation. Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, it's got to be a gigantic bidding war. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised actually if it gets on Disney XD or something like that. Their new channel that they're airing Star Wars Rebels on.
I didn't even know that existed. Anyway,
yeah, I mean, I know they got Dragon Ball Kai for a while, or may still have it. I don't know, but
I think we're hoping for two episodes next week, and then we'll probably go back to the once a week after that.
Yeah, we'll definitely find something to do next week. And the one episode I'm so excited about Dragon Ball Super that we're gonna do a special episode about that. Now, I may wait for 2 episodes of that to air.
It's hard for me. I mean, we can do like a little mini episode or something like that.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense to try to talk for an hour about a 20-minute show.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think most of it is. I think most of what I'd like of the discussion points will really just be around
where it's going.
Just where it's going, where it fits in with the rest of the series. Does it totally fuck over Dragon Ball GT? Does anybody care? Important existential questions like that. So we'll do something. But there is a lot of exciting summer shows. So definitely in a few weeks
we'll have some more stuff.
I catch up, but we'll do something.
All right.
Yeah. So if you haven't, we're on SoundCloud, and you can follow us. You can like us. You can, I guess it's retweeting or what's it called on SoundCloud? Whatever. You can show us that you like us.
Check it out.
Yeah, and then so Tea Time with Godzilla is currently the only website we have for this podcast. You can also.
I'm thinking about starting a blog, so not necessarily anime related, but like just a side sort of project thing. So
Cool. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So the site, this will be broadcast. I mean, I've been posting episodes.
Spread it around. Yeah.
Yeah. So just if you like us, let us know. Send us an email with recommendations. You've got a great chance right now. This is. I feel like a summer, one of those salesmen. You've got a great chance right now since we have right now.
If you submit a session like today, we'll do it in a couple days.
Yeah, it's like, oh, look at that customer service.
Exactly.
You can't fucking beat that with a stick. So yeah, so we'll be doing shit. Let us know, like us, send us an email at twodimensionalchampions@gmail.com, and subscribe to us on iTunes, which would be great because I don't think we have any subscribers on iTunes yet, and I'd like that. Well, I subscribe to us on iTunes, so yeah. That's so sad. That's so sad. Okay, so thank you, Thaddeus. This was another great episode, and we'll see you all next time.
Take care.
Later.